Hello, Scorpio. This is your yearly reading for 2016. And as always, thanks to everybody for their support, for subscribing. For those of you who've purchased readings from me, thank you as well. As I do this reading, and I'm saying this in every video, please do not see these readings as whether your entire year is going to be horrible or whether your entire year will be just lovely with no ups or, without any obstacles or issues whatsoever. The first card that fell out here was the Strength card. Then we have Ace of Cups, Ace of Wands, I'm sorry. And then we have the World. And then we have the Hierophant. Okay. So I see the tarot is not just about giving predictions. It's also an oracle for advice and guidance as well. And, many people, the questions that they bring to me or ask me, will I find love and will this relationship work out? Will I get married? You need to realize that you have control over your destiny. And it's not about letting things happen to you or waiting for things happening to you. It's about really living your life and moving forward. But life is never simple with this, with just yes or no. The tarot will always, the tarot can give you a yes or no answer, but it'll also tell you the whys. And so as you get your reading for the upcoming year, just try to see it as guidance and don't see it as either positive or negative. These are probably things that you're already aware of going into 2016. Some of these things that are happening for the upcoming year have a lot to do with a cause and effect from 2015. So just keep that in mind. Now I'm just going to put out 12 cards and I'm just going to first look at the general theme and then look at month to month. Keep in mind that the energy from each month will overlap. Oh, what fell out here? We have 9 of Cups. Okay. Right. I am going to cut the cards here. And I'm not doing any outcome cards. I'm going to let the 12 cards speak for themselves. We have 8 of Cups in reverse. This is 6 of Wands, card of victory. We have 9 of Wands in reverse. We have Wheel of Fortune in reverse. You have 4 of Pentacles. You have the Lovers. And then you have the High Priestess in reverse. Okay, so your 12 months First off, let me make sure I point out all the major arcana here. I noticed that I got comments in my December readings that I kept missing the strength card. There were some major arcana that were showing up, and for some reason I kept missing them. And the strength card was one of them. Well, the strength card, Scorpio, is in January. That you are going to be going into the new year ready to tame and conquer. And then you have the world, which means a new cycle. Usually it means the end of one cycle. The world is the last card in the major arcana, and it can mean that you're starting over again. It's going to be a new cycle. The fact that this follows this Ace of Wands is very significant because usually the Ace of Wands means new beginning, new inspiration, new opportunities. And so this second major arcana card, the world, is indicating that the beginning of the year, the first 3 months, January, February, March, it's going to be you moving on to new beginnings, maybe a new attitude as well. The strength card just isn't about action. It can be your attitude, your motivation, your intent, your will. You have the Hierophant, and this is the card of tradition and beliefs and values. And it can also mean family. Sometimes it can mean a marriage or a spiritual union of some type, church. So maybe this new beginning has a lot to do with new attitudes as well, or beliefs, or family traditions. Usually, when the Hierophant shows up in some of the readings where I've had the Hierophant, there seems to have been family issues that someone is dealing with. Then you have Wheel of Fortune in reverse, and this is all about a reversal of fortune, and maybe there won't be a reversal of fortune. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse can also mean that things aren't going to turn around just yet. The cycle is sort of stuck, which is interesting because you have this world here, and so this is the end of a cycle. But the Wheel of Fortune, if there are certain situations going on, you might be like having a really bad time finding a job, or your finances are not going well. The Wheel of Fortune can indicate that things are not going to um, go on the upswing just yet. But it seems as if this is following actually some pretty good energies here. We have victory, and we have Nine of Wands, which is the card of uncertainty and learning difficult lessons. Those, it seems as if it's following a pretty good upswing and things won't be changing late in the year. Okay, so strength, the world, Hierophant, Wheel of Fortune. Then we have the Lover's card, which obviously can mean a union, a sexual union. It can also mean a union between the yin and the yang, your masculine and feminine energies. Sometimes people interpret the lovers as necessarily marriage. Usually the lovers is just very physical and sexual. Um, it can have a spiritual nature as well. But we have this High Priestess, which is your sixth major arcana card. And maybe the energy of this lovers is not necessarily for your highest good. The High Priestess is about connecting to your intuition. The High Priestess is psychic. The High Priestess knows everything. So this seems to be about um, the theme based on your major arcana cards. I feel because 6 of your 12 cards are major arcana, there are going to be big changes, permanent changes coming to you that are going to begin right in the beginning of the year for you, Scorpio. And that will be very important. And it could very well be a permanent change within you. Usually, major arcana could signal external changes that you have no influence over. But it could be that there are certain events that are happening that are occurring because you um, are making certain decisions that are making those influences on events and what you decide will happen to you. But nevertheless, I think you're in for some big changes with relationships. I think based on what I'm seeing in these cards in general, just scanning them, it seems as if you are going to be very determined to get what you want. And that's because you have this Nine of Cups right here in the month of May. So I've explained the first 3 months that this Strength card with Wands in the world, you have this inspiration and you have this new adventure and new opportunity that you are going to take on. I have a feeling it has a lot to do with a important decision that you want to make in your life. And so I think you're going to begin as we head into March. This is going to be such a strong positive energy for you, Scorpio, that maybe there is something that you are going to address. And I think that's why we have the Hierophant here in April. And the Hierophant means, it can definitely mean religion, religious beliefs as well, but tradition, your values, what what's important to you. And I think that the first 3 cards here have a lot to do with why this Hierophant is showing up in the month of April. So, because of these strong beliefs and this incredible internal strength and motivation and inspiration that you have, then we get this Nine of Cups here. And I've said this before, sometimes the Nine of Cups is the wish card. It means getting everything you want. And so now we have Eight of Cups in reverse. This is a card of not leaving. This is the card of leaving behind, walking away. And it's in reverse, so maybe this has to do with someone else not walking away. Also, I don't think there are any court cards here. There are no kings, there are no queens, no knights, no pages. That doesn't mean that there aren't people involved here, but it definitely signals that there's a lot going on with your actions, how you're dealing with relationships. And keep in mind, cups represent water. This is definitely your energy as well. And so, Eight of Cups, there's going to be, I think that you're going to give a situation the benefit of the doubt and you're going to stay. The situation is, whatever it is, if this is in regards to a relationship, and we're looking in the month of June, this was in May, this is in June, it seems as if there won't be a walking away, that you're going to give someone the benefit of the doubt. Um, one instance that I'm thinking of is a married couple who separated and they decide to give it another try. Or you want to give it another try, or someone else wants to give it another try, as signaled by the Hierophant or the Pope. And this may be something that you actually want. You want to stay and work this out. Doesn't have to apply to a relationship as well. This could apply to a career situation, a situation with money where maybe you won't have to leave a house or lose your house. That's the other thing that just came to me. And because of this, we are going into the second half of the year here in July. You have victory, the Six of Wands. You have a lot of wands, Scorpio. And wands are fire. Fire is you actually have power over fire, actually. Um, and fire is not necessarily something you should, and you can look at it in a very literal sense. Fire and water don't mix, but fire can also be a very good energy to have as well. You know, I mean, if you apply fire to water, you get hot water. I don't know the spiritual significance of hot water, but um, I do know that it can definitely mean that your energies are going to be more intense because you are a very emotional water sign. You're very loyal and devoted. And also, if someone crosses you, Scorpio, you don't let that slide very easily as well. So you have a lot of fire going on here. That started in the beginning of the year, but it's going to come back in July and August. And so this Nine of Wands is also a good sign because the Nine of Wands is reversed. When it's upright, this Nine of Wands can mean learning a painful lesson all over again. It can mean uncertainty, being insecure. Um, you see this man's looking at the other wands and he seems rather fearful. And it seems as if you've gotten victory and a lot of your uncertainty is going to be reversed as well. It seems as if the major arcana cards are signaling that there are going to be some very good changes, permanent changes that are going to work in your favor. And this Wheel of Fortune means that you're going to maybe continue on a roll here. There's not going to be so much of ups and downs. Things might be stable for a little bit. So this was September. Now going into October, and near the end of October, I know some of you Scorpios do have birthdays. And now we have this Four of Coins. It seems to me that you've been, things have been going your way for quite a while. This could very well mean, and I'm just sort of, as I'm picking things up, certain events, I'm just going to lay them out here and say them. I see that maybe you've gotten a lot of what you've wanted, as indicated by this Nine of Cups in May, and you're holding on to certain things. But also keep in mind you had this Eight of Cups in reverse, not walking away. And near the end of the year, we have this Four of Cups, which means holding on. It can mean also reserving resources. It's seen in terms of money and finances, it's seen as the miser card. It can mean selfishness, but it can also mean tightening the belt, reserving what you have. And I can definitely see you having some sort of very good luck with money early on in the year, some very good things happening for you. And you are just holding on, trying to manage things, keep things under control. So, as we head into November, where most of you Scorpios might have birthdays, the majority of you. For 3 weeks of the month, we have the Lover's card. And this could definitely mean the, it can mean a continuing romance. It can mean a new energy, the Lover's card here. Um, and also, it doesn't necessarily have to do with relationships. In a spiritual sense, it can mean unity. It can mean things working out well where you find the perfect job and it's the perfect match, and you find that happiness, that material happiness as well. Um, and I've described the archetype of the lovers. It's a reference to Adam and Eve. And this lover's card brings with it the energy of temptation, seeking knowledge or making the right decisions in a relationship. Keep in mind that in the tale of Adam and Eve, we had Eve who was tempted by this serpent who appealed to her, her insecurities or her ego. And because of that, they were kicked out of paradise. They were kicked out of the garden. I say that because I'm saying this part of the story or this interpretation in the way that the high priestess in December, if you hear a siren, I apologize. I've explained that I do live in LA and it's absolutely impossible for things to be absolutely quiet all the time. So please forgive me for that interruption. But I felt a need to describe this spiritual interpretation of the lovers with Adam and Eve, Scorpio, because what follows in December is the High Priestess. We have a reversal of that intuitive spiritual energy. Now, the High Priestess is sort of like the passive energy of the Hierophant. The Hierophant or the Pope, he he carries out tradition, he carries out rituals, he he establishes articles of faith and tradition for people to follow. But once again, you need to be careful with this lover's card in November because it could be leading up to a situation that's not for your highest good. There could be someone that you do become attached to, interpreting this as a relationship issue, looking at it as a reading for a relationship. There could be someone that you've been making it work. I think your intent, your desire, that maybe here there seems to be a transformation where this relationship, you two work it out and you're getting back to basics. Maybe someone in your life is going to give up drugs and they're going to come back to church or something like that, some type of transformation. But it certainly doesn't mean that a temptation won't come back that won't threaten a relationship. Now, um, as I said, this can apply to career, your job, money, and lovers can apply to anything. It can mean unity. It can mean there's no more disconnect with your world and your physical self and the things that you truly want. It can mean having self-esteem, but usually the Empress is the best card for that. But in the most general sense, it's a card of unity and happiness and it applies to a physical sexual energy in relationships, but it can also apply to the energy of unity in other aspects of your life as well. And then I think it can be spiritual. Um, but it is a very sensual, material energy, you know. Usually, when you see the Hierophant showing up with the lovers, it can indicate a relationship that might lead to marriage because this symbolizes the church. But also, because this High Priestess is in reverse, just be careful that your higher selves are not betrayed. And there might be some temptation, someone might slip up here. I'm not talking about cheating necessarily, but it could mean that someone might, I get a feeling that the one of the situations that's coming to me very strongly is you being in a relationship with someone who's addicted to drugs or is addicted to something or has a personal issue or obstacle that has always gotten in the way of the relationship. And you've been hanging in there, and it seems like this person might be getting their life together. And, they're doing good, and that, whenever you help someone, try to get their lives together, going with the story of addiction and you being in a relationship with someone who is trying to get it together, I can see things going very well to where they are doing all the right things and they're getting their life together. But there will always be that temptation for that person to sort of start slipping up after 6 months or so. And so this high priestess is indicating that the higher self, the spiritual, intuitive self, whatever's for your highest good, there's going to be a disconnect with that. And this could definitely be someone else. It doesn't have to be you, Scorpio. But this is an energy that could be happening that's, I feel, is very strongly attached to the lovers. Okay? And like I said, you have like 6 major arcana cards here. And so, there might be big changes that are affecting this relationship. But also, in regards to this career or job or finances, it seems as if there could be a lot, it seems like things are really going to go your way for the year. That whatever this issue or whatever this hope or dream or desire is, you're going to be able to get it based on just you having that faith and will. Because Scorpios, you do have a very strong will. And so just take that in mind that whatever this victory is, you getting what you want and you making things happen in your life or making things happen in a relationship, um, there's always that danger that especially someone won't be able to, follow through. It doesn't mean there's going to be a huge disaster, but someone just might trip up. And whatever it is, just make sure that you have the clarity and understanding, um, you know. And I think that's definitely what the high priestess is indicating here. This could be a warning to you that make sure that you're attached to your inner higher self. It's not just your external beliefs um, and tradition here, but it's also about um, your intuition and your spirituality and your inner faith here. So that was your reading for 2016. And as always, I hope it brought you clarity. Don't see this as all bad or all good. Um, but I will be coming out with January readings as soon as these readings are up right now. I'm probably doing your January readings right now. And so we'll definitely get a little bit more clarity when we look at the month of January and we see what's going on with this Strength card. Okay. Now, I hope you're having a wonderful holiday season. I wish you a wonderful new year. I will see you in a couple weeks. So I want you to take good care of yourselves. I wish you love and light. Thank you for subscribing. And for those of you who've gotten readings from me, thank you for all of your wonderful comments. I will see you in 2 more weeks.